Hello everyone. I would just like to start this video by saying that whatever the title may suggest, I am not angry at essentially the art world or the art community or PewDiePie in any way. Though I will say this, his progress kind of broke me. And it is very sad to see that I've been trying for essentially 58 days and I can't even scribble together a decent face, let alone anything that I feel is actually somewhat decent. Then we have PewDiePie within 40 days who manages to essentially draw perfect anime faces symmetrically, well, way before 40 days, but within like 28 days, and then doing within 40 days, no reference drawing, perfect symmetric, wonderful faces. And here I am barely being able to scramble together not even a decent one, let alone anything that anyone would say, oh, hey, this is well made. This essentially is a cry for help. I've actually been trying to do art now for about 58 days, like I said, most likely more and counting, and I'm not getting any better. No matter what I try, whether it be 3D drawing, cylinder, like all of it, I'm trying and trying to learn all of this stuff, and I'm just not getting anywhere. No matter what I try, it just feels like I'm just banging my head against the wall, hoping that something would stick, which it doesn't. No matter what I try, it just seems to go wrong. Here are some of the images that I have drawn in my early start, which I think they're not that good, but they're leagues better than the things that I did later on, which is kind of saying a lot. I don't know if I'm correct in this assessment, but it feels like I am not getting any better. No matter how much I practice drawing, no matter how much I try to pick up techniques and listen to the masters and try to learn what they've learned and just try to get things to, work in a steady flow. I don't think if it's my way of approaching art, maybe it's because I'm doing a lot without references. I did do some references recently. Here is an example, me doing Tiki Mick from D. Greyman. Of course, on my Discord server, they instantly pointed out that I should do symmetric lines to get the face symmetrically correct. Because, again, whenever I do feel like I managed to get something correctly, there's always someone pointing out that I did something wrong. It just feels like it doesn't matter whatever I do, it just keeps on getting criticized and keeps on pointing out, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Oh, you did this thing wrong again. And it just feels like I just don't have, and I know this word is going to be very, very, very discussed, or, well, not disgust, like the word disgusting, like disgust by the art community. I just don't have the chops. I don't have the talent needed to do this. I've been trying and trying. I'm trying to get anime, trying to do this style. I love anime. I've been watching anime since I was like 12, 11 years old, and I've always been a huge fan of it. Though I never really considered the idea of actually trying to make anime, or at least even try to draw it. So I thought to myself, well, I mean, I'm 30 years now, and PewDiePie's 34, but that doesn't matter. Why not try, at least? Let's give this shot. Let's give it a shot. Let's try and hope to God that this works. And, because I always was a huge fan of D. Greyman. I never really understood why back in the day, but when I was 15, I had recently finished watching the anime D. Greyman, and it was the one anime that made me want to read a manga for the first time ever. And I didn't know why at the time. But then I realized it was the characters and the style, the art style, the setting. It was just so endearing and special and unique to me. So I wanted to draw something similar to that. Or at least something that was kind of in the same style. I always had my characters that I have for my own ideas and storytelling in my head. An idea that I always wanted to do, but I don't think I'll ever really be able to put to paper because I'm just not picking up the skills needed to actually learn how to draw. No matter how much I try, it just seems like everything just keeps on. Whenever I learn something new, something else goes wrong. You get it? Like whenever I learn something new, then I forget the stuff that I learned before, and then it just kind of goes from there. It just keeps on rolling and rolling. Okay, you do this, people, and I don't get me wrong, a lot of people have been trying to help me on Discord, Not so much on Instagram. In fact, I don't really have a following on Instagram. I just recently started my Instagram account. Uh, I just kind of felt like at the end of the day, no matter what I did, it just isn't sticking. Like, here's an image for how to draw the female face symmetrically in anime style. Oh, okay, I try that. I still get it wrong even when I have references. Here's an image of like if you listen to Draw Like a Sir, like, oh, you want to do bodies, you do boxes, so that's a very good start for beginners. And you want to learn how to do perspective, you want to do vanishing points, and I try to do that, and I try and I try and I try, and I listen to Mark Burnett who says cylinders and boxes and spheres, and you try to do that, and you try to do that, and you try and constantly like draw from like certain aspects, like trying to do gesture drawing. I suck at it. I just can't get it correct no matter what I do. And at the end of the day, like, I listen to people like Didi Mark, which I just loved his story when he told me that he essentially has felt like he's been a loser and failed at everything his entire life. And I really related to that because I feel the same way. Most of the things I've ever tried in my entire life has just gone to shit. I've never managed to succeed in any of my endeavors. So I said to myself, okay, if DD Mark can do it, then why can't I? And this was at least a month into my art journey where I discovered DD Mark. And by the way, if you're watching this, DD Mark, which I doubt, but if you do, man, I have huge respect for you. And your art style, oh God, it's so nice. It's almost, and I say this with the most respect, almost as good as the art style that the characters have in Radiant. I really, really like Radiant's art style. But back to the point at hand. No matter how much I tried, no matter how much I tried to study the fundamentals, no matter how much I tried to draw faces symmetrically, no matter how much I tried to do reference drawing, it just didn't work. And then, of course, right around the time as I have started my art journey, and I've been like 28 to maybe 40 days, 30 days, 40 days in maybe, I learned that PewDiePie has been doing it for 78 to 100 days. And I look at his style and the stuff he did for literally 28 to 40 days. He started doing perfectly symmetrical heads, an amazing hairstyle, even hands, clothing, you name it, bodily proportions correctly, all of that stuff within 40 to 50 days. And here I am sitting 40 to almost 50 days, and I can't even scribble together a decently symmetric looking face. You can understand, you must at least to some degree, if any of you artists who claim that talent isn't real, you can understand to a certain degree how that would break a person. And see all these YouTube channels that pop up everywhere, these artist channels, and just go, oh my God, PewDiePie is literally better than 90% of the art community within 90 days. And I just go, yeah, why is that? And I honestly really don't know the answer. I know I did a comment a few weeks ago, maybe, or a few days ago, on a channel that was talking about PewDiePie and his progression. And I don't know why it sounds like a Freudian slip almost, where he said, oh, this guy has a good eye. And I just went, well, what is a good eye? It's a skill, right? And it means, and again, he hasn't drawn since he was like 7 years old, according to himself, from what I know. At least from what I'm not 100% sure. I do remember that he might have gone to an art school a short period, but I don't know how long. Maybe that explains why he's so talented so early. But again, it just felt like a kind of a Freudian slip from the art community. It felt like someone literally just saying out loud, yeah, talent is real. We're just pretending like it doesn't exist. And it's always like, if I were to get to speculate on this subject of talent and how it's not real, according to the people who already know how to draw and clearly has the eye of observation and learned a lot faster than most people on the planet, what is, well, a good eye or a skill or observation, you say? Like, you can level this skill up. I'm not saying that I can't get as good as, say, DD Mark or Draw Like a Sir. In fact, this is a reference that I drew just taking one look at D.D. Mark's character that he drew. Of course, again, just like the people in Discord would tell me most likely, the face isn't symmetrical. Yeah, I know. I just kind of drew it at the heat of the moment. I wasn't trying necessarily to be symmetrical, because me being symmetrical is just impossible sometimes. It's just, I don't feel like, is this really true that there is no such thing as talent? Because PewDiePie managed to do this, and this really broke me. I even said it on my Discord, on the Discord I'm at, that this kind of broke me. It kind of broke me. And then hearing these people, these very, very skilled people who have a knack for this thing, tell me that you can do it, anyone can do it. I wonder sometimes if these people even can see from the perspective, can even grasp the frustration of the people who just don't have that skill or that observational eye, and have to basically spend years upon years just trying to level up this skill. And some people just never really get there, no matter how hard they try. And I feel like I'm most likely one of those people. My brain is just not connecting. It's just not really connecting at all. In fact, I've been trying to do anime art or anime style, and I can swear to God that I'm worse now than when I was at the beginning. It's a strange situation to be in when you desperately want to have a story told through maybe a mangaka or something, that you just want to leave some kind of mark on this planet, you know, in some aspect. Finally, maybe you can try and succeed in something, and you're pushing for hours. Like, I'm not joking, I could sit down for 6 to 7 hours, an entire day, just drawing, just looking at things, trying to get it right, trying and trying and trying again. And no matter how hard I try, no matter what kind of method, no matter how much I try to kind of like do, okay, 3D spacing, boxes for body cylinders, faces, doing the guidelines for the faces, the Loomis method, nothing really sticks. And I've been trying and trying and trying, and it's just not working. And then, again, take it from my perspective, and I'm sure there are many people like me out there. Then this guy called PewDiePie, Felix, just within 40 days, draws a perfectly amazing looking anime girl face within 40 days. No references. You can understand, I hope, some of you, Draw Like a Sir, Mark Burnett, DD Mark, and many others who are amazingly talented, or sorry, amazingly skilled, worked hard to get there. I'm not saying that you haven't worked hard. I dare say that you've worked harder than anyone else, and that's commendable, that's respectable. It's just that you can see how that would break a person. Like, imagine then someone who's been drawing for 3 years, and then see that kind of progress to the point where they can make literal illustration art within 100 days. And maybe that person, it took 2 to 3 years to get enough skill to do illustration art properly, with like perspective, proportions, facial structure, getting all that in perfect unison and functionality. And using that, you get how that would break a person. And it just kind of makes me feel like no matter how hard I try, I will never be as skilled as PewDiePie, as DD Mark, as Draw Like a Sir, or Mark Burnett. And I have people around me that tells me the same thing, and maybe that's a problem. My family members, people who tell me that you know you will never be able to draw like these people, right? Because they're talented, they're skilled, and they're naturally gifted, they say to me. And I go, well, I mean, they say that anyone can learn to draw. And they say, yeah, but not like these people. This is a completely different skill level. And I don't know why, but if I'm wrong, then I don't know. Because I asked my brother, he's a very talented artist. He knows how to draw. When he was 13, he drew shit that I could only dream of drawing now. Simply by just observing, because he has that skill. And I asked him, was there ever a point in your journey when you started where you were genuinely really bad? And he just shrugged his shoulders and said, no, not really. I've always kind of had this knack, you know. And that's, when people tell you that, maybe he's lying. I don't think so. Maybe And it just kind of makes you wonder, are these really, really, really talented people? And I am going to use that word. I know it's very a taboo subject within the YouTube art community. But is it really, really just raw working hard? Like, I don't know. I could have sworn, again, that YouTube video that I made a comment on a few weeks ago, that he has a good eye, like he said. He accidentally can, again, like I said, Freudian slip. He has a good eye. Well, where did he get that good eye? Genetics. That's where he got that good eye. I don't think anyone can really deny that. Not Draw Like a Sir, not DD Mark. None of these people can really deny that there is something as innately born with you as, again, a raw talent for something or a raw skill that you just happen to have. I just don't have that skill, and I'm trying here. I am trying. I'm sweating blood and tears trying to learn how to draw. And I know what everyone's going to say. You're supposed to have fun while you do this. Yes, but when you've just recently reached your 30s, and I have to basically use my own life experience as an example of why I'm sweating blood and tears, why I'm trying so hard and I just keep on failing, and it just completely breaks me. I just had a brushing with death anxiety. I just recently turned 30. My life has turned upside down and everything's just gone to shit. And I realized when I turned 30 that shit, I'm gonna die one day. Everything I've done will be for nothing, unless I at least try to leave some kind of mark on the world. Because I haven't done anything else other than play video games, and that's about it. Work shitty jobs, that it just, like, that's not what I want my life to be. I don't want my life to end that way. I want to do something that I find enjoyable. And I wouldn't be sitting there painting for hours upon hours, an entire day, if I didn't think it was fun, or if I didn't want to genuinely learn. And I might be burning myself out. That's 100% a possibility. But I'm desperately trying here, and I would love if someone, maybe anyone, could just DM me or something, and I desperately am in need of some kind of teacher or something. I don't know. No matter what I try, I just feel like I'm just continually making the same mistakes. Maybe it's because I'm not observing it enough. Maybe it's because I just don't have the eye. I just don't have the skill. I just don't have the eye of observation. I just, no matter what I try, it just keeps failing. If it isn't the face, it's the eyes. If it isn't the eyes, it's the chin. If it isn't that, it's the mouth that's too far from the chin. And if it isn't that, it just keeps on failing. No matter how much I practice, no matter how much I try to draw from reference or practice, it just keeps on failing. And it's breaking me. And then I watch people, again, my perspective here, you watch PewDiePie and you just go, what the hell? Why can't I do that? Why am I not skilled enough to do that? And he drew for 10 minutes a day. How did he scribble all those small faces so perfectly, so well, on such a tiny space, on such a tiny sketchbook, within 10 minutes a day, asymmetrically, in different perspectives, smiley faces, eyebrows raised, clothing, hands? How did he do that? How did he? I can't even get a decent facial expression if I make a massive fucking piece of paper. Excuse my swear word there. It just feels like I am entering a field I can never really do anything. I just can't. And I know mentality is a huge part of it. And I have been telling myself, and I genuinely actually had moments when I felt like, yeah, I can do this. Only to have it all shattered by someone on Discord telling me that, no, this is wrong, this is completely wrong, what the hell are you doing, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know who to trust. I don't know who to trust. If I had someone like Draw Like a Sir tell me how to do, or if I had someone, which, to be fair, they have a lot of YouTube videos where they go through details of how to do certain things, but it's just, I don't know how to put all of that to practice. There's so many of them that tell me different things. Like DD Mark's 1 year, how he learned how to draw, was amazing. Again, inspiring even. Man, I must say, if you ever see this video, DD Mark, like, wow. Man, can I relate to that feeling of being a complete loser and everything just fucking sucks. Excuse my swear words again. But I'm not you, and I don't think I ever will be you, and that's fine. I'm not trying to be you. I just want to create my own kind of manga, my own kind of story that I would love to put on paper with my own characters that I have in my head, and I have them clear. I know exactly how I want them to look. I know exactly how the main character is supposed to look like. I know how the side main character is supposed to look like. I know how the side characters in the setting was supposed to look like. I had all of it in my head. I even scribbled it down and wrote down PowerPoints and like rules of the universe and all of that stuff. I've done all that stuff already in preparation for wanting to make my own mangaka. But when I can't even do a decent face from different angles symmetrically within 58 days, and I can't even do proportions correctly, and I'm trying vanishing points. I managed to do something decently recently. I don't have an image of that now, but it's just not really working out, no matter how much I try. It just feels like I am banging my head against the wall. In fact, one day I literally did that. I literally banged my head against the wall, feeling like, what the hell am I doing? I am not getting anywhere. And then we have this, again, everyone just praising PewDiePie, left and right, left and right. And again, this, I will say this, talented person, PewDiePie, telling me, you can do it, I believe in you. Not as well as you, that's for certain. I don't know what the hell you did, but you managed to crack the code. Again, his eye of observation, he's skilled. He was born with that skill. So he had a natural inclination to draw because he has that skill. It was born with him. I don't think you can actually really deny that. I really don't. Because there are people who have to work 100 times harder to actually level that skill, while some people just have it. If that's not talent, I don't know what is. But hey, this entire video is basically unscripted. I'm just gonna have like some gameplay. I just don't really know what to do. I'm just kind of throwing myself out there into the ring of art as well as video gaming and shit. And I'm just hoping that someone sees this video. But anyway, thanks for listening throughout this entire video and me rambling on about art and how much I would love to create something, but I'm just not talented enough, I guess. Well, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, see you in the next one. Morph out.